Yo guys, what is good? It's Cameron from Deck Builders here, and today we'll bring you the new best dinosaur deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! This deck is insane with the introduction of the new dinosaur card right here. It makes this deck so much better. There's a lot of changes. I know I've already done a dinosaur deck. Now, I'm not a master of dinosaur decks by any chance, but I wanted to give you guys the best dinosaur decks. And my boy Team Samurai X1, he is a GOAT at dinosaur deck. It's one of his favorite decks. He's very good with the dinosaur deck. I know he's gone to a bunch of regionals and everything with dinosaurs. So I was like, you know what? Let's listen to this man right here. He's kind of the GOAT, but I still wanted to give you this deck on this channel because I don't think I'm really a deck channel. We don't really think we're a deck channel unless we're covering the best decks. So this is Team Samurai X1's decks. Full credit goes to him for this deck. But without further ado, let's get into the deck list. But wait. If you're still watching right now, before we get into it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. New deck list every single Friday, and I hope you guys enjoy the deck.
So we're running 3 copies of Soul-Eating OVIRAPTOR. Now this card's effect is if this card is normal or special summoned, you can take 1 dinosaur type monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. You can target 1 other level 4 or lower dinosaur type monster on the field, destroy it, then special summon 1 dinosaur type monster from your graveyard in defense position. You can only use each effect of Soul-Eating OVIRAPTOR once per turn. Now this has always been a really good combo card in the dinosaur deck, but with the introduction of the new dinosaur card, which I'm going to get into a second, this card becomes really strong. Then we're running 3 copies of MISCELLANEOUSAURUS. Now this card also is another really good combo piece in the dinosaur deck. During either player's main phase, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. During this main phase, dinosaur type monsters you control are unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. You can banish any number of dinosaur monsters from your graveyard, including this card. Special summon 1 dinosaur type monster from your deck with a level equal to the total number of monsters banished to activate this effect, but destroy it during the end phase. You can only use the effects of MISCELLANEOUSAURUS once per turn. And now for the brand new card, we're running 3 copies of ANIMADORNED ARCHOSAUR. I really don't know how to say that. It's a brand new card that we just got. It wasn't released in the OCG before we got it in the TCG. Everyone's just getting it now, and it definitely takes the dinosaur deck to a next level tier 0 deck. The effect of this card is if this card is normal or special summoned, you can destroy 1 dinosaur type monster in your hand or face up on the field, except ANIMADORNED, blah blah blah, whatever the name of this card is. I can't really say it. Then add 1 reptile, sea serpent, or winged beast monster with this same original level as the destroyed monster, or 1 evolution pill spell from your deck to your hand. You can only use the effect of this card once per turn. So what you want to do is obviously go for your evolution pill, because evolution pill is such an overpowered card in this deck. Yeah, this card really does go crazy with all the combos that it allows you to do and makes this deck so much better. Now we're running 3 copies of BABYCERASAURUS. Now in most dinosaur decks before this new card we'd only run 2, but now we've got this new card. A lot of people are running 3, so that's what we're running. So we're running 3 copies of BABYCERASAURUS. This card's effect is if this card is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, special summon 1 level 4 or lower dinosaur type monster from your deck. Then we're running 2 copies of PETITERANODON. Again, don't know really how to say that, I'm sorry. If this card is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, special summon 1 level 4 or higher dinosaur type monster from your deck. It cannot attack this turn. Then running 1 copy of YuGiOh. Now it's a tuner monster, which is quite nice. You contribute this card to select 1 level 4 or lower Duric type monster in your graveyard, except Duric. Special summon this card from your graveyard. So pretty much our only effect that we're really using this card for is just as a tuner. We're not really using its effect. It's just a nice little level 1 tuner. Now we're running 2 copies of UCT, aka Ultimate Conductor TYRANNO. Now this card's an absolute beast. You guys all know, if you've played a dinosaur deck, you've played against someone, or you've played with a dinosaur deck, this card is an absolute beast. It can win games by itself. Now the reason we're only running 2 copies is because Evolution Peel is so easy to get with the introduction of that new card. And if you have 3 UCTs, you're more likely to draw 2, and if you get 2, it's not the best situation situation. It can be decent, but is not fantastic. This card cannot be normal summon / set, must be first special summoned from your hands by banishing 2 dinosaur type monsters from your graveyard. Once per turn during either player's turn or main phase, you can destroy 1 monster in your hand or field, and if you do, change all face up monsters your opponent controls to face down defense position. This card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. At the start of the damage step, if this card attacks a defense position monster, you can inflict 1000 damage to your opponent, and if you do, send that defense position monster to the graveyard. Then for our other boss monster, we're running 1 copy of OVERTEX QOATLUS. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say these card names, but this card cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned from your hands by shuffling 5 of your banished dinosaur monsters into the main deck. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a spell or trap card, quick effect, you can destroy 1 dinosaur type monster in your hand or face up on your field, and if you do, negate the activation, and if you do that, destroy that card. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can add 1 evolution pill spell from your deck to your hand. You can only use the effect of OVERTEX QOATLUS once per turn. Then I'm running 1 copy of Giant Rex, cannot attack directly. If this card is banished, you can special summon this card, and if you do, this card gains 200 attack for each of your banished dinosaur monsters. You can only use this effect of Giant Rex once per turn. Then running 1 copy of DOGORAN, the Mad Flame Kaiju. Now this is actually a kaiju that's a dinosaur type monster, so it could be pretty nice to get on your side of the field. You can use all your dinosaur effect monsters, but also with Wender, you need a kaiju monster to get rid of Wender. So that's our kaiju, it's our Wender out. If you guys don't know what kaiju is, you can special summon this card from your hand to your opponent's field in attack position by tributing 1 monster they control. If your opponent controls a kaiju monster, you can special summon this card from your hand in attack position. You can only control 1 kaiju monster once per turn. You can remove 3 kaiju counters from anywhere on the field, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. This card cannot attack the turn that this effect is activated. Then running 1 copy of True King LITHOSAGYM, the Disaster. If this card is in your hand, you can destroy 2 other monsters in your hand and or face up on the field, including an earth monster, and if you do, special summon this card, and if you do that and both destroyed monsters were earth, you can also look at your opponent's extra deck and banish up to 3 monsters from it with different names. In this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can special summon 1 non-earth whim type monster from your graveyard. You can only use the effect of True King LITHOSAGYM, the dinosaur, once per turn. The Disaster, sorry. Then running 1 copy of MECHA Phantom Beast O Lion. This card's effect is you can banish this card from your graveyard. Immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon 1 MECHA Phantom Beast monster from your hand. While you control a token, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 MECHA Phantom Beast token, machine type / wind, level 3 attack, 0 defense. You can only use the effect of Mecha Beast O Lion once per turn. Again, it's a level 2 tuner, and you're gonna be able to get this card out really easy with Crystal Needle Fiber or Crystal HI-SPEEDROID, whatever you want to call the Link 2 card. And then our other target for Crystal Needle Fiber is Jet Synchron. Again, another level 1 tuner. I'm not going to read the effect of that card because it's kind of irrelevant. Then I'm running 3 copies of Fossil Dig. You can add 1 level 6 or lower dinosaur type monster from your deck to your hand. Then I'm running 3 copies of Lost World. All monsters on the field lose 500 attack and 500 defense except dinosaur type monsters. Once per turn, if a dinosaur type monster is normal or special summoned except during the damage step, you can special summon 1 Durig token, dinosaur type, earth, level 1, attack 0, defense 0, to your opponent's field in defense position. While your opponent controls a token, they cannot target monsters on the field with card effects except for tokens. Once per turn, if a normal monster or monsters is on the field would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you could destroy that many dinosaur type monsters in your hand or deck instead. This is a really good card. It's our dinosaur field type spell. This deck actually uses a lot of field spells as it's a go first type deck. Then I'm running one copy of Dragonic Diagram. Now this card allows you to take advantage of your True King monster. All True Draco and True King monsters on the field gain 300 attack and defense. The first time each tribute summoned True Draco or True King monster would be destroyed by battle each turn. If this card was not destroyed, once per turn you can destroy one other card you control or in your hands, and if you do, add one True Draco or True King card from your deck to your hand. Since we rely on so many field spells, we're running one copy of Terraforming. This pretty much means you're running two copies of Dragonic Diagram, because you know you're only allowed to run one copy of Dragonic Diagram, so you want to find it as many times as possible. So we're running one copy of Terraforming and add one feed spell from your deck to your hand. Now probably the most important spell card in the deck, we're running 3 copies of Double Evolution Pill. Banish one dinosaur type monster and add one non-dinosaur type monster from your hand and or graveyard. Special summon one level 7 or higher dinosaur type monster from your hand or deck, ignoring its summoning conditions, and you can only activate one Double Evolution Pill once per turn. So pretty much you activate this card and it's a free ultimate Conductor Tyranno or a OVERTEX QOATLUS or whatever it's called. So yeah, this card is overpowered and it's now super easy to get with the introduction of the new card. Then I'm running 3 copies of Called by the Grave. Target one monster in your opponent's graveyard, banish it, and if you do until the end of the next turn, its effects are negated, as well as the activated effects and effects on the field of monsters with the same original name. Now this is really important in this deck because it's a going first type deck, so you don't want to get negated and you're running a lot of combos, so you don't want to get Ash Blossomed or whatever the other hand traps are. You just want to run this card so that you can negate that and you can continue going with your combos. You do not want to get stopped. And then for the last card in the deck, we're running 3 copies of Dark Ruler No More. Negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls until the end of this turn. Also, for the rest of this turn after this card resolves, your opponent takes no damage. Either player can activate monster effects in response to this card's activation. Now moving on to the extra deck, we're running 2 copies of CRYSTRON HALQIFIBRAX, also known as Crystal Needle Fiber. It's a Link 2 type monster, and this card's effect is overpowered. Again, you really use it to summon Mecha Phantom Beast or Lion, as well as Jet Synchron. This card effect is that if this card is Link summoned, you can special summon one level 3 or lower tuner type monster from your hand or deck in defense position, but it cannot activate its effects this turn. During your opponent's main phase or battle phase, quick effect, you can banish this card you control, special summon one tuner synchro monster from your extra deck. This card is treated as a synchro summon. You can only use the effects of Crystal HALQIFIBRAX once per turn. Then I'm running 1 copy of LINKROSS. Now apparently this card is overpowered with Needle Fiber, so it's a Link 1 type monster that requires a Link 2 or higher Link monster. So pretty much you use this card to get rid of your Needle Fiber after you've summoned your tuner. So this card effect is if this card is Link summoned, you can special summon Link tokens, Cyburst Light, level 1 attack 0, defense 0, up to the Link rating of the monster used for this card Link summoned. Also, you cannot use Link tokens as Link materials for the rest of this turn. You can only use the effect of LINKROSS once per turn. So you know, if you can keep those tokens around for long enough, you can get a free Link 4 type monster. We're running 1 copy of LINKURIBOH. I'm sure I don't have to go over this card's effect. Then we're running 1 copy of Mecha Phantom Beast or Radiant. Running 1 copy of Nightmare Phoenix, a very good situational card. It's a Link 2. If this card is Link summoned, you can discard 1 card, then target 1 spell or trap card your opponent controls, destroy it. Then if this card was co-linked when this effect was activated, you can draw 1 card. You can only use the effect of Nightmare Phoenix once per turn. Co-linked monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. Then I'm running 1 copy of Abyss Dweller, 2 level 4 type monsters. While this card has a material attached that was originally water, all water monsters you control gain 500 attack. Once per turn quick effect, you can detach one material from this card. Your opponent cannot activate any effects in their graveyard this turn. Then running one copy of EVOLZAR LAGGIA. This is another rank 4 Xyz type monster that requires 2 level 4 dinosaur type monsters. During either player's turn when a monster or monsters would be normal or special summoned, or a spell or trap card is activated, you can detach 2 XYZ materials from this card, negate the summon or activation, and if you just do, destroy that card. Then running one EVOLZAR DOLKKA. This card requires 2 level 4 dinosaur type monsters as well. During either player's turn when a monster or card effect is activated, you can detach one XYZ material from this card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that monster. Then I'm running one copy of True King of All Calamities. This card requires 2 or more level 9 monsters. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can detach one XYZ material from this card and declare one attribute. This turn, all face-up monsters on the field become that attribute. Also, all monsters in your opponent's possession with that attribute they control cannot declare attacks or activate their effects. Monsters that True Draco and True King monsters in your hand would be destroyed with their effects can be chosen from your opponent's field. Then running one copy of HI-SPEEDROID Chanbara, running one copy of Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. This card requires 1 tuner and 2 more non-tuner type monsters. When this card is synchro summoned, you can banish up to 1 card from each, 1 card each from your opponent's hand, field, and graveyard. Then running one copy of Ravenous Caucasaurus Arcus something. It's a new OCG card, so it's pretty cool. Running one copy of Martial Meta Marcher. If this card is synchro summoned, you can target 1 tuner type monster in your graveyard, special summon it in defense position but negate its effects. You can only use this effect of Martial Meta March once per turn. A synchro monster that uses this card as material is treated as a tuner while it's face up on the field. And then last but not least, we're running one copy of Formula Synchron.
Yo guys, thank you for watching so much. We really do appreciate it, especially if you watched all the way through this point. It's a pretty long video. So, you know, if you watched all the way to this point, you got to hit that like and subscribe button. Come on now, man. You got to hit that like and subscribe button if you watch all the way to this point. And I'll click one of these 4 videos right here, or 3 videos, and the subscribe button. And we out. See ya.